Football careers are usually short, but for some players they end shockingly early. Whether it's because of injuries, health problems, personal choices, or just falling out of love with the game, a handful of incredibly talented footballers have retired when most of their peers were just getting started. Today we're looking at 10 of the youngest players ever to retire from professional football. Stories that range from heartbreaking to downright surprising. Number 10. George Best. George Best was the original football superstar, dazzling on the pitch, chaotic off it. At Manchester United, he was untouchable, winning the European Cup in 1968 and the Ballon d'Or the same year, all by the age of 22. But while most legends are still climbing in their late 20s, Best's career was already unraveling. By 1974, at just 27 years old, he had left United after clashing with management and struggling with his off-field lifestyle. From then on, his football became a patchwork of short stints in the US, Ireland, Scotland, and even Australia. Officially, he didn't retire until 1983 at 37, but his true exit from top-level football happened a decade earlier. For many fans, George Best is remembered as a genius who burned out far too soon, proof that even the brightest stars can fade before their time. Number 9. Marco van Basten. Marco van Basten's story is bittersweet, one of the most brilliant strikers ever whose fire burned out far too soon. He lit up Ajax and then AC Milan with his lethal finishing, winning 3 Ballon d'Or awards and scoring at a goal almost every game. He was a hero for the Netherlands too, grabbing 5 goals in Euro 88 to help his country win it all, but ankle injuries plagued him relentlessly. After multiple surgeries and years of pain, his last full match was in 1993, and by 1995, at just age 30, he officially retired. Some reckon his effective playing career had ended even earlier, around 28, because he'd been sidelined so much. Today, Van Basten is often seen as a what-if, a generational talent whose career was tragically truncated. Number 8. David Bentley. David Bentley was once hailed as England's answer to Beckham, a set-piece maestro with flair and hype behind him. He came through Arsenal's youth ranks and made his way to Blackburn, where he showed real promise. He later joined Tottenham, earned England caps, and seemed poised for greatness. But by 2013, aged 29, Bentley shocked fans by walking away from the game, saying he'd simply fallen out of love with football. He'd battled recurring injuries, especially a serious knee issue, disjointed loan spells, and mental strain from the pressures of elite football. That combination eroded his passion until one day he decided enough was enough. After retirement, Bentley pivoted to business, opening bars and hospitality ventures in Spain and beyond. His decision still haunts fans, a gifted winger opting out while still young, choosing life over the game. Number 7. Adriano. Adriano, known as the Emperor, looked destined to dominate football for a decade. With his power, pace, and a left foot like a rocket launcher, he was unstoppable at his peak with Inter Milan. Between 2004 and 2006, he scored 48 goals in 68 games, earning comparisons to Ronaldo Nazario and becoming Brazil's next great number 9. He also lifted the Copa America in 2004, where he was top scorer and best player. But off the pitch, tragedy struck. The death of his father in 2004 hit him hard, and Adriano turned to partying and alcohol to cope. His fitness and focus declined, and despite being just 29, he was already drifting out of top-level football. Though he officially retired in his early 30s, Adriano's career effectively ended years earlier, a classic case of what could have been for a player once feared worldwide. Number 6. Hidetoshi Nakata. Nakata was more than just a footballer, he was Japan's first true global superstar. Breaking through in Serie A with Perugia before shining at Roma, Parma and Fiorentina, Nakata became the face of Asian football in Europe. Technically gifted, stylish on the ball, and intelligent in his movement, he proved he could thrive in one of the world's toughest leagues. But at just 29 years old, after the 2006 World Cup, Nakata shocked everyone by announcing his retirement. He admitted he had lost the passion for the day-to-day grind of professional football and didn't want to stay in the game once it stopped bringing him joy. Instead, he chose to walk away while still respected, moving into fashion, business and cultural ventures. For many, Nakata's decision was bold, leaving at his peak rather than fading away. He stayed true to himself. Number 5. Just Fontaine. Just Fontaine's legacy is that of a blazing comet crossing the football sky before burning out. But what brilliance he packed into his short flight. He forced his retirement at just 28 years old after suffering repeated double leg fractures that no recovery could fully overcome. From 1953 to 1962, he lit up French football with an uncanny scoring touch. 226 goals in 248 club matches, Nice plus Reims, and an otherworldly 30 goals in just 21 caps for France. His crowning moment came at the 1958 World Cup, where he netted 13 goals in 6 matches, still the single tournament record. Sadly, after those injuries in 1960 and 1961, he played his final match in July 1962. For someone with that kind of scoring CV, averaging over a goal per game internationally, to leave the game so early is a stark reminder. Talent can be silenced by fate. Number 4. Ryan Mason. Ryan Mason's story is one of sudden heartbreak, not fading ambition. He was a promising midfield talent rising through Tottenham's ranks and had shown glimpses of brilliance before tragedy struck in January 2017. While playing on loan at Hull City, he suffered a life-threatening skull fracture following a clash of heads. The injuries were so severe that surgeons had to drill holes to relieve pressure in his brain. Medics warned him that even returning to normal life carried massive risk, let alone elite sport. At just 26 years old, Mason announced his retirement that same year, forever ending a career that many believed was just beginning. Rather than disappear, he transitioned into coaching, becoming one of the youngest Premier League managers and later taking roles at Tottenham. His exit from playing was abrupt, emotional, and a stark reminder of life's fragility. A brilliant career ended not by form or injury over time, but in a single instant. Number 3. Thomas Tuchel. Thomas Tuchel might be known today as one of the sharpest managers in modern football, but his own playing career ended before it ever really began. As a defender, Tuchel came through at Augsburg before moving to Stuttgarter Kickers and then SSV Ulm, showing steady progress. But at just 25 years old, a chronic knee cartilage injury forced him to retire far earlier than anyone expected. In total, he made fewer than 100 professional appearances before being told he could no longer continue. While many would have walked away from the sport altogether, Tuchel used the setback as a springboard into coaching. He started out with youth teams, later making his mark at Mainz, Borussia Dortmund, PSG, Chelsea, and Bayern. His story is unique. A career cut short as a player became the foundation for a managerial journey that defined modern tactics. Number 2. Enoch Mwepu. Mwepu's story hit the reset button before most could even dream of seeing his peak. The Zambian midfielder, once dubbed the computer for his game-reading ability, was on the rise at Red Bull Salzburg and then earned a move to Brighton and Hove Albion in 2021. He made 27 appearances and scored 3 goals for the Seagulls, even grabbing goal of the season for a beauty against Liverpool. But in October 2022, everything changed. Mwepu was diagnosed with a hereditary heart condition and forced to retire at just 24 years old. It came after he fell ill on a flight during international duty, and medical tests confirmed that continuing to play would carry grave risk. Brighton later offered him a place in their youth coaching setup to stay in football. It's one of the most heartbreaking early exits in modern football, a talent cut down by fate, not form. Number 1. Mykhailo Mudryk. Mudryk's career has taken one of the most shocking turns in recent memory. Signed by Chelsea in 2023 for a massive fee and tipped to be Ukraine's next superstar, he showed flashes of brilliance but never quite found consistency in England. Just as it looked like he was settling, the news broke in late 2024 that Mudryk had tested positive in a doping control and was handed a provisional suspension. What followed stunned fans. Instead of fighting for a way back, reports suggested Mudryk was ready to walk away from football altogether and turn his focus to athletics, even eyeing the Olympics. For a winger blessed with pace, dribbling flair, and still only 24 years old, this felt like a premature ending to a career that promised so much. If true, Mudryk's story is one of the most dramatic early exits football has ever seen, and that's our list of the 10 youngest footballers who retired too soon. Some were forced out by cruel injuries, others by health battles, or simply losing the love for the game. All of them left us wondering what more they could have achieved. So tell me, which early retirement do you think was the saddest? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss more stories from the beautiful game.
Oh, you've asked for it and we've finally delivered. Relive the glory days with the most iconic designs in football history. Whether you're a fan of classic club colours or legendary international strips, we've got something to ignite your nostalgia. Perfect for match days, casual wear or adding to your collection. Shop the new retro range now at goal90.shop. Massive discounts await.